I'm sure you've wondered if creatine really delivers what it promises. You should know that if you take it for a week, you can quickly build your muscles, increase your strength, improve your exercise performance, and make many other positive changes in your body. After decades of research, controversy, slander, and myths, this natural supplement has proven to be effective in all of its benefits. Creatine can also be found in protein-rich foods such as chicken, meat, or fish. But did you know that our bodies also produce it? Our bodies are capable of producing about 1 gram of creatine per day. Of course, this supplementation won't make you grow overnight, but there are some techniques that can produce faster results, one of which is the loading phase. In today's video, you'll learn how creatine works with our bodies, based on science and a lot of experience, and how it can significantly increase our muscle mass in just 7 days. Before you start, subscribe to the channel and leave a like to stay on top of the fitness world and learn everything you need to get healthy and get more results from your workouts. Here we go. First of all, it's important to understand how creatine acts on our muscles to provide the energy needed for intense physical activities such as swimming, cycling, or martial arts. This function is closely related to a molecule called ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. ATP is the main source of energy for our cells, but it is quickly depleted during intense exercise. This is where creatine comes in to replenish energy levels. The human body stores a substance called phosphocreatine in muscle cells. This substance acts as a sort of energy reserve. When you exercise vigorously, such as cycling at high speed or doing an intense HIIT, high-intensity interval training workout, your muscle cells use one of the phosphocreatine molecules in ATP to generate energy by converting it to adenosine diphosphate, ADP. The stored phosphocreatine is then quickly used to convert ADP back to ATP, the form of energy your body can use immediately. This rapid conversion of ADP to ATP allows the muscles to continue to function at their maximum capacity even after the initial depletion of ATP. Therefore, the creatine stored in your muscles acts as an emergency energy reserve that is activated at times when you need it most, helping to delay fatigue and allowing you to maintain the intensity of your workouts. Interestingly, by consuming the right dosage of creatine, you can maximize the creatine levels in your muscles in about a week, setting yourself up for optimal performance. In addition, this loading phase can provide visible benefits in terms of increased muscle strength and improved body composition. During the first 7 days, it is recommended that you consume approximately 15 to 20 grams of creatine daily. Some more precise guidelines suggest adjusting this dosage according to body weight by multiplying your weight in kilograms by 0.25 to get a more accurate dose. However, following the standard guideline of 15 to 20 grams per day can simplify the process. Although this amount may seem high, at this early stage your muscle cells act like sponges and absorb most of this extra creatine. Think of your muscle cells as empty tanks that fill up as you consume additional creatine. This process increases your muscles' energy reserves, making them better prepared to respond with rapid bursts of strength during training. As the loading days progress, the amount of creatine in your muscle cells gradually increases. By the end of the first week, your muscles should be saturated with creatine, resulting in rapid improvements in strength, power, and endurance. During this time, creatine also begins to attract water into the muscle cells, contributing to greater cellular hydration. This hydration process occurs automatically as the body tries to maintain a balance within the cells. Because creatine and water are stored together, your muscle cells will retain more water as you increase your creatine intake. This increase in water retention can lead to an increase in muscle volume, often resulting in a bulkier, more defined appearance. In other words, as creatine pulls water into the muscle cells, they begin to look larger, what many call the bloated or fuller effect. It's important to note that this effect is mainly due to increased water retention and not actual muscle growth in just 7 days. However, as I'll explain below, keeping creatine levels at their maximum can help with muscle growth in the long run. This is because the additional pressure on the membranes and internal structures of the muscle cells is perceived as a threat, triggering anabolic signals that increase the rate of protein synthesis. Muscle growth is favored when protein synthesis exceeds protein breakdown, creating an ideal environment for increasing muscle mass. This cellular hydration mechanism may be one of the reasons why creatine supplementation is effective for muscle hypertrophy. Even without considering water retention, after just 1 week of loading, your muscles will be better prepared for growth on several fronts. You'll have more energy to lift heavier weights and gradually increase the intensity of your workouts. Research shows that creatine supplementation can increase muscle cross-sectional area in a wide range of people, from elite athletes to sedentary and elderly individuals. In addition, there is evidence that muscle saturation with creatine can positively influence bone mineral density and markers of bone formation, which may be particularly beneficial for those at higher risk of osteoporosis or recovering from injury. Another benefit that occurs as your muscles become saturated with creatine during these 7 days is accelerated recovery after exercise. This is related to the increased rate of protein synthesis that creatine can provide. A more favorable environment for protein synthesis allows your muscles to repair micro-injuries more quickly, allowing you to return to intense training sooner. However, for some athletes, a potential disadvantage of the rapid creatine loading phase is a temporary increase in body weight due to water retention in muscle cells. It's important to clarify that this weight gain is not equivalent to body fat gain, but it can still be an inconvenience for athletes who need to maintain a specific weight, such as martial arts fighters or runners. Fortunately, this weight gain is usually modest, a few pounds, and tends to decrease after the loading phase. However, if you continue to take creatine, your weight may stay a little higher. For most people who don't have to worry about competition weights, this weight gain is not a big problem. After the 7 days of loading, it is recommended that you reduce your intake to about 3 to 5 grams of creatine per day instead of the 15 to 20 grams per day in the early stages. This amount is sufficient to keep creatine levels in the muscles fully saturated over time. 5 grams per day is the standard dose, but it takes a few more weeks to reach the saturation that the loading phase achieves in just 1 week. This means that if you choose the standard dosage, you may not experience the same rapid gains in performance that the loading phase provides in the first few weeks. On the other hand, after a week of loading, your muscles will quickly reach their maximum creatine saturation level, which significantly increases their ability to generate energy in a short period of time. If you choose to take creatine on a regular basis, you will see a gradual increase in muscle creatine concentration over time. Either way, whether you speed up the process with 15 to 20 grams per day or use the standard dose of 5 grams, you should see improvements in performance and muscle gain within a month. Since there is no way to exceed the creatine storage capacity of the muscles, the only benefit of the loading phase is to reach saturation faster. Another effect that often goes unnoticed during this loading phase is creatine's effect on the brain and cognitive function. Just like your muscles, your brain needs a constant supply of energy to function properly. And ATP, the same molecule that fuels your muscles, is also critical to brain function. We've already seen that creatine plays a role in the regeneration of ATP in muscles. Similarly, the brain has mechanisms for regenerating ATP. Some of the creatine you consume crosses the blood-brain barrier and enters the brain cells where it helps to regenerate ATP. This provides the energy needed for various cognitive functions. In this way, tasks that require quick thinking, mental clarity, and prolonged concentration can benefit from the increase in creatine in the brain. If you notice an improvement in your ability to concentrate or a decrease in the feeling of mental fatigue during these 7 days of supplementation, it may be that creatine is contributing to these positive effects. So, by replenishing your muscle stores with creatine throughout the week, in the long run, your muscles will get bigger, you'll lift more weight, you'll have more endurance, more willpower, and even because of the dehydration from daily use, you'll give the impression that your muscles are even bigger. Creatine can be taken for years without an expiration date, so continue to take it every day, but in smaller amounts between 3 and 5 grams. This way, your stores will continue to fill up, but in smaller amounts, which will prolong the results a little more in the long run, but you'll still get plenty of benefits. It will be good for your mind, your daily life, your body, and much more. We're done here. And if you're already taking creatine or using any technique, leave your experiences or doubts in the comments below. And if you're looking for other alternatives to gain muscle, dangerous alternatives, watch these 2 videos before you do anything. Leave a like, Subscribe to the channel and see you in the next Fit Fundamentals video.